And here we go, a little bit earlier than the 2-minute warning, but welcome to the Lions Postgame Show live on woodwardsports.com. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. My name is Stick. That, of course, is Anson Wells. We do every postgame right here on woodwardsports.com. Stephon Diggs just scored the go-ahead touchdown, but then the Buffalo Bills missed their extra point to put them up 25-22, so the Lions are down 3, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Hell of a game so far, baby. Hell of a game, and the Lions still got time to do some damage.
Certainly. Time to tie, time to win.
Oh, my gosh. All right, the kickoff does not look like there's going to be a return, so the Lions are going to start at the 25-yard line. Anson, happy Thanksgiving to you.
So happy Thanksgiving to you, brother.
So happy to be doing these Lions post games with you. Usually we'd be down at the Brass Rail for any home game, but the Brass Rail does something awesome for their employees. They shut down at noon and do a whole buffet for the employees and their families, so we can't hate on that. So we in the studio watching the game right now. Like I said, 2:40 left. Lions are down 25-22 at their own 25-yard line. Jared Goff, single back formation, about to take the center, put someone in motion. Handoff. About a 3 to 4 yard gain for Jamal Williams. Clock is still running.
They're going to work the clock. They're going to make sure that they don't give Buffalo any chance if they're able to score here, and they're going to work their whole offense. I like the opening play here.
Yeah, and I like what you said about not giving them any time. At worst, you want this to go to overtime, right?
I'd love overtime in Ford Field right now.
And how about the fans today?
2nd and 7, Goff drops back. A screen play.
Swift made someone miss. He's up the sideline, gain about 20 from 15 yards out about the 44-yard line. Lions, and they can still run one more play before that 2-minute warning. It's 2:01 left on the clock.
Yeah, that looked real bad to start. Slow developing screen pass out there to the side for Swift, but he made a man miss.
He made one guy miss, and that's all it took to break that play open. I like it.
That's what he does, man. That's what he does. Oof. And I've been calling for him to get more involved in the pass game, and he's looked a lot better today than he has in the last few weeks.
And shout out to everybody in the woodwardsports.com chat right now. Brandon said he's so nervous. But isn't this a good feeling?
Yes.
Like this is what high-stakes football games should feel like. All right, run up the middle. Lions pick up about 4 yards on first down. That'll be 2nd and 6. 1:57 left on the clock. When they come back, ball is about, the 46-yard line? So they're about 4 yards away from midfield.
Yep. Ready to get into Buffalo territory. And maybe Badgley gets an opportunity to make up for that missed field goal. Maybe we go bigger.
You know, I'm not a big moral victory guy, but no matter what happens, Lions proved a lot today to a lot of people nationally.
Certainly. You know, they've been calling to strip Detroit of this game. And, I'm never going to side with that, but they have a point, and we've gotten embarrassed a lot. We've been out of the contention before this game even starts and then way out of the game as it gets played, but this is considered one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFL, and the Lions are hanging. It is very exciting. We talked about it before the show. Stick, when was the last time you were this invested in a Lions game?
It's honestly been a long time. I mean, since the 2014 season, so almost 8 years, almost a decade, right?
That's a long time. That's a long time to be sweating and biting your nails. I mean, I was watching it with my old man at home, and he's standing up, swearing at the TV. I'm running into the kitchen so he doesn't hear me drop F-bombs. I am and was completely invested in this game from the start. I've had this kind of skulky, terrified feeling because I know we can win it. I'm watching us be in it, but I'm so worried about what could end up happening, and that's a great feeling. It really is.
It's an odd feeling, though. It's a stressful feeling that you really haven't felt because there really hasn't been any high-stakes games. Like this feels like a turning point in Lions history, potentially. This game, if they could put their stamp on a 4-game winning streak and nail this game, it's really going to send a message to the rest of the NFL. The Lions are legit, and it's going to send a message to the rest of us that the Lions are legit. Everybody in woodwardsports.com chat right now. the Lions are legit if they win this game.
Absolutely. I wrote it down before I took any note, before there was a play called
here we go.
The biggest game of the new era. This is the biggest game of the new era.
Of the brand new Lions.
That's right.
Not the same old, the brand new.
So, yeah, you were right. 46-yard line, close to the 47.
Yep.
Big play here.
Let's see. It looks like they're going to run 3 wide receivers to the left. 1 running back deep. Man in motion, 2nd and 5. Goff drops it off. Swift once again. Cannot make somebody miss this time. Gets tackled inbounds. Gain of absolutely nothing. It's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Very big 3rd down. Obviously, we're in 4-down territory right
we're
now.
We're in Dan Campbell country, baby.
Yeah, we are in Campbell country for sure. But this opens it up for a run. I believe we have all 3 of our timeouts left. The playbook is wide open.
All right, here we go. Goff in the shotgun. Comes to the line, makes a check. Probably just identifying who the mic is on this. Walks up to the line of scrimmage again. He sees something. Goff sees something. He's checking to something. He went
St.
like
Brown
this.
time. St. Brown time.
He went like this. Oh, he switched to a handoff. Swift dives about a half-yard short. They're going to mark him from the 1st down. So it's going to be 4th and 1 on the Bills' 49-yard line.
I'd have liked to see him stay up right there. I think he could have fell forward for that instead of diving for it. This is Jared Goffville, right?
What, quarterback sneak?
Absolutely.
They already ran that earlier in the game, though, so that's kind of out of their bag at this point. I mean, I wouldn't mind them doing it again, but let's see if they can get a better spot on this. But he slipped.
And he got touched. Well, he might be able to get a more favorable spot here. I'm sure that they're looking at it in New York.
It's a solid spot.
Chains are coming out.
They're going to mark it. Looks like it's about maybe a 1/4 yard short. Pull that chain. Oh, my God. It's literally like this short.
Inches, baby.
It's this short.
So this is Jared Goff, right?
You have to, right? Or put Penei Sewell at quarterback and let him fall forward.
I like that.
Well, I mean, Ben Johnson's done some cool things today. He's put linemen in motion on blocks.
Yep.
I'm all for the old Chicago Bears refrigerator Perry. Like, listen, I got a 400-pound dude. Try to stop him. Just try.
I loved him as a kid.
Oh, how do you not? As
well,
Fish
in
would say.
the last sneak, we came out in an I formation. We sent Kabinda in motion over to the side, which really kind of disguised what we were going to do. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of formation we come out here. I don't want to see anything but a QB sneak here, right?
I want to see a QB sneak.
Yeah.
But like I said, they already called that earlier in the game. They did get it. There was also an offsides on that, so they didn't credit that. But they did get that 1st down on the QB sneak.
Top 5 offensive line in the NFL. You got to put it on them right now. This is a very, very big play for Lions Nation right now.
It's so stressful. Yeah, I wouldn't even have Swift that far back. I'd have him up so he could just push Goff forward. Oh, they try and end around to Amon-Ra. He gets the 1st down behind some blockers, almost in field goal territory, out about the 37-yard line. Put it in your most trusted guy's hands.
Very large balls on that play.
Dude.
Wow. Cojones.
Because this is one of those plays where it could be a negative play in a hurry. Like if the linebacker actually reads that properly, or the defensive end reads that properly, that's a risky call. But who else do you trust? Amon-Ra St. Brown or Swaggy? I trust Swaggy too.
Sure.
But they're going to prepare for you to go up the middle. Great call. It works. Listen, what do I always say? I'm a man of results. All right, Goff in the shotgun, 1st and 10, drops back, dumps it off. Did Swift catch that?
Had Swift wide open. He just kind of overthrew him. He did get pressured. There's been a lot of pressure both ways for both teams today.
Yeah, but Swift has got to catch that. He missed that one on the goal line. Oh, that is kind of out of his reach. All right, that's not on Swift. My bad.
So 2nd and 10. We're in Bills territory here. Again, a field goal ties this one.
Oh, God.
Love to have that Badgley field goal back right now.
Right? Or love to not have a safety. But either way, that's okay. You're here. You're fighting for it. 37 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. False start on the Lions.
That is not a good start there for this set.
And this Penei Sewell. False start.
We do have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And again, this is 4th down territory.
It's not even 4-down territory. It's getting to field goal territory.
Sure.
You know what? They really need to pick up 7 yards now. They needed to pick up 2. Now they got to pick up about 7. And honestly, we don't even know what Badgley's field goal range is.
Let's just get a touchdown. How about that?
I would love that. Just no sack. All right, close. Amon-Ra St. Brown stays on his feet. Gets to about the 32-yard line. You're definitely in field goal range. I would use a timeout here.
You got to take a timeout here. You got to take a timeout
here. Use a timeout here. Use a timeout here. 20 seconds left. 21. I think they finally called the effing timeout. They wasted like 4 or 5 seconds not calling a timeout there.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's some bad coaching. That is a bad decision there to let those precious seconds tick off the clock.
That's potentially a whole nother play, man.
Might have actually been Buffalo that took that timeout.
Why wouldn't the Lions take that timeout? You have all three.
I think they wanted to keep the Bills personnel that they had out on the field.
I mean, I get that, but time is more valuable right now than anything.
Agree 100%. I mean, you can rush up, but they're running 15 yards down the field. Oh, we got something under review here.
I think they're going to see if Amon-Ra St. Brown's knee touched down earlier, but on that replay, it didn't look like it at all.
Yeah, we already got hurt by one of those once with the Swift knee coming down. We still did
you
eventually
could tell
get
that was
in.
down, though. This one doesn't even look close to being down.
Great balance from the son of Mr. Olympian.
Man, the sun god. Okay, so it's under review right now. Lions got the ball. They're down by 3 points, 25-22 against the Buffalo Bills. 21 seconds on the clock. They are in field goal range. If this play holds up, it would be what, about a 49-yard field goal. So do you just go 3 shots to the end zone here, maybe?
No, you've got. I mean, with Badgley already missing a field goal, you've got to give him an opportunity, the best look that he can get. It may be a shot, but I'm upset that they wasted those 5-6 seconds. We did take the timeout. It wasn't Buffalo. It's still a young coaching staff. You know, Campbell still, we've seen, has had some moments that he's struggled with clock management, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But we still got quite a few moments here in 21 seconds with the 2 timeouts. So the whole field is open at this point, as is the playbook.
Man, they're showing Ed Oliver, who's had a monster game. I was on the pregame show with Adam and Booner, and I said that. I was like, Ed Oliver's got to have like an Aleem McNeil game like the Aleem McNeil had last week, and he has shown out even more than that.
Oh, they're putting time back on the clock. Was down with the ball at the 32.5. Oh, so that's that. They were actually checking the spot to see if they had a first down. They weren't talking about his knee being down earlier. So that's going to be just short of the first down, but we get 11 seconds back, which is huge.
That's monstrous. That's 2 plays potentially.
That's massive.
3 potentially. All right, so the call is overturned.
That young man we just saw there, Badgley, got a lot of Thanksgiving Detroit hopes on his shoulders right now.
It is 3rd and 1 though now. It's 3rd and 1, 32 seconds left on the clock. The Lions got to pick up this first down.
Is this sneak territory? Are we getting the Jared Goff sneak here?
No, they got Jared Goff in in shotgun formation.
I hate that.
I do not think we're going to see it. And they got to hand this off, right? You got to hand this off. No? They drop back. Goff, quick throw. They're going for it. Oh my God. Chark had his man beat. Goff threw it to the sideline. Chark couldn't get there. Now it's 4th and 1. Now you got to kick the field goal. I do not love that.
No, I don't.
You got to get that first down to give yourself more plays.
I don't love going to Chark at all.
I don't mind going to Chark. I just want that on my first down play and my second down play after I pick up the first down. Like, you got to give yourself more opportunities.
A very serious roll of the dice right there by Ben Johnson.
And you give him the ball back with 22 seconds left, 23 after this. And you got to rely on 51-yard field goal. Here we go. Snap, hold, kick. Looks like
he got it.
Good. It's good.
Wow.
It's good. The Lions have tied the game.
Wow.
25-25. 23 seconds left.
Wow. That thing looked like it was kicking out wide right and then started to just weave back in left and does sneak over the upright or between them. I can't believe this game, man. We did call a Lions victory here, and I think we're going to get some OT.
I hope we're going to get some OT. The only way we're not getting OT is if the Bills are actually hopping on this. And, David Trops just put this in the WoodwardSports.com chat. This is pretty amazing. It is. We're watching competitive football against the #1 team in Vegas to win the Super Bowl. Your Detroit Lions are taking them to overtime off a 51-yard field goal from this kid nobody ever heard of 8 weeks ago.
And to be fair, I did call 26-24. So
So you're not going to be
one
right.
up, one down, pretty close.
Yeah. Too bad it's even.
So some strange scoring here. For a third straight week, we've seen a kicker miss an extra point for the opposition, which has opened the door for us to either win, dominate, or tie. This time it's a tie, and I really would like to see the mental fortitude and the heart of this team in an overtime in such a huge game.
Well, we got to get to overtime first. That's the problem. There's 23 seconds left on the clock. You boot this ball through the end zone. You don't even give them a chance to return it, which is exactly what the Lions do. So the Bills will take over at their 25-yard line. They still have all 3 timeouts.
They do.
So that's why,
They do.
Yeah, talking all that overtime, the defense still has to make a play. Kirby Joseph time, perhaps?
As long as it's not Diggs time. I'd love to see a turnover
Diggs,
here.
McKenzie, I mean, Davis, they've all had decent games today. McKenzie kind of out of nowhere today, too.
They need about 40 yards here. 40 yards will put them in Bass's range. He's a great kicker.
How about a strip sack fumble? Can we get that?
Some pressure. Uh-oh.
Over the middle. Oh my
no.
God. Diggs catches it at the 40-yard line. They're in field goal range. 15 seconds on the clock.
Diggs is going to dig.
How does that happen? What a great throw. What a great throw. Kirby Joseph just inches away from knocking that ball down.
Man, just
Inches.
a split second. Split second. That's a massive, massive dagger right there.
Jesus.
Well, I got a little ahead of myself, didn't I, pal?
Well, you're the one who always tells me, it's the most Lions thing that can happen. But it ain't over. There's 16 seconds left. And you wonder what the Bills are going to do here. Probably a couple sideline throws.
Yeah,
Maybe a draw play to set up your kicker.
47-yard field goal.
It'd be 57 from here, 56 from here. So they still probably want to get 10 more yards if they can. There it is. Josh Allen run up the middle. He gets 5 yards. So now we're looking at a 52-yard field goal. 12 seconds left on the clock. Buffalo takes a timeout. Son of a
So you got to
bitch.
imagine that they're going to run this one more time, right? They can't chance throwing the pass. Probably put them right on the hash that Bass likes best.
Yeah, that's probably what Bass is telling them to do right now. It's like, hey, I like it on the right hash. 3 for 3 when tied or trailing by 3 points or fewer. That is Tyler Bass's resume. Oh, man, this would be gut-wrenching.
Yeah. My guts are already wrenching right now.
God. Come on.
This is big play.
Come on. Fumble the snap. Do something. Fumble the snap. Fumble it. Tip ball. Anything. No, there he goes.
They're gonna
Josh
keep
Allen.
it in Allen's hands, and he's got a real nice run.
But he stayed in bounds. They do have a timeout, though. Shit.
So here we are. This is the game. Yet again, it's going to be on the foot of a kicker. We've had our hearts broken before.
I go back to that 3rd and 1 call, trying to go for it all with DJ Chark. Why not run the ball, pick up the yard, give yourself 3 more shots at the end zone? At worst, you kick a field goal.
Yeah, I
think
we're going to
that's-
be going back to that one if this goes through the uprights.
Ugh.
I don't even want to talk about the silver lining that I have Bass starting in my fantasy league.
Shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. You idiot.
I 100% want him to miss this. I promise you.
God, why would you even bring that up? Nobody wants to hear that.
No, I don't even want to say it.
And why does Bass have, eye black on? You're a kicker, bro.
52-yarder?
Yeah, right at it. 55. Oh, he missed. Oh, he nailed it. He nailed it. 2 seconds left.
Let's go, Khalif Raymond.
28-25.
So he nailed it. If you're not following at home, 2 seconds left. Lions trail 28-25.
Oh, God.
That's the thing, is we left too much time on the clock with an incomplete pass. So not only do you rob yourself of the chance to score a touchdown,
You give them an opportunity. Oh, and that just barely snuck in. Just barely.
gut-wrenching heartbreaker. It's quiet here in the Woodward Sports Studios, and I'm sure it's probably quiet at home right now, or your uncle is swearing at the TV.
This was moment. This was like Q1 shining moment, like the NCAA. This was the moment for the Lions to turn the corner. I mean, obviously, this isn't the worst thing in the world to lose to the Bills by 3.
Sure.
I get it. But that win would have the trajectory. But I'm an optimist. Maybe this loss will show them they can hang with anybody, and it will keep them hungry as hell because they didn't win. But
here's
damn.
the squibber.
All right, here we go. Motor City Miracle. Come on. Motor City Miracle. Nobody behind him. There we go. Motor City Miracle. Keep going. Keep throwing the ball. It's on the ground. It's a scrum. Game is over.
Hats off to the Lions. Big
like
heart in this game.
In the gut.
There's some, again, this is a team that doesn't have experience in games like this. You don't have, the playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. We have a couple of miscues. The big passer, or excuse me, the roughing the passer that led to a touchdown instead of a field goal on 3rd down. You've got Jared Goff not getting rid of the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions beat themselves today.
Well, and that's the deal. But they played a game that allowed them to be in it until the very last play, as we just saw.
The defense played their ass off.
And this is a game that I believe the Lions are going to start winning in the future. This truly is one of the best teams in the NFL. I'm looking at it. We have 8 of our 11 games played this year have been against playoff teams. That's a hell of a schedule to try and make it through.
And that's nice, but this win would have just changed things, man. It would have changed things.
I can't disagree with you, and I'm heartbroken. But at this point, all that we can do is try and take away positives because we didn't get blown out. We didn't make grievous errors. We weren't penalized up and down the field. It was just a few critical moments where we did make some mistakes. The coaching staff made some mistakes, but this is all part of the learning process, Lion fans. This team they're at the corner. This game, as a W, as a win, certainly would have said, yes, we've turned that corner. But I'm going to have to say that I feel that they have their heads at least around it. They're inching right now. The rest of the schedule is really going to tell us who this team is, because if they can compete with the Phillies and the Miamis and the Seattles and the Buffaloes of this league, we should be able to go put a hurt on the rest of these teams that we have on this schedule and maybe not make the playoffs, but certainly end this season on a very high note.
I hope they just take this out on Jacksonville's ass next week. This is like, you're going to have 10 days to sit around. You're going to have 10 days to watch film. It's 10 days of just like, okay, the next guy, this is when you get your ass beat in a fight that you shouldn't have lost, and the next guy just feels the wrath of everything that's in you. They got to be going into that locker room just absolutely devastated right now, absolutely knowing what they let slip through their fingers. And, I'm already seeing dumb stuff in the WoodwardSports.com chat, people blaming Jared Goff. And I feel like I have to get up here every week and defend Jared Goff. 23 of 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I have no
Jared
issues
Goff
with
did
Jared
not
Goff.
fail this team today. This was not a loss on Jared Goff. This wasn't. And, for the people that say wins aren't quarterback stats, so then neither can losses. They can't be either. But what, to me, the biggest thing that failed the Lions today is, where was the running game? We failed to rush for over 100 yards. That's huge for this team when you have an offensive line that is supposed to be your identity and push people around. Ed Oliver treated us like ragdolls today.
Yeah, specifically when we got the ball with about 10 minutes left in the game in the 4th, we started off on our own 9-yard line. Run the ball. Run it again, and then run it again. And I definitely felt that we got away from the run game here today. We would have won this game as a team, and we lost this game as a team. There was errors all over that were small, but they certainly cost us today. I see this game, if we play this way against any other team, we're going to come out with a win 9 times out of 10, I believe.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you can take away. Like the effort's never not there for the Lions, and they're always physical. They're always knocking people out of games. You love that. You hate to see it, man. This would have been the first undefeated November for the Detroit Lions since 1962 if they won this game today. First undefeated November since 1962.
That's a deep cut stat.
This would have been a 4-game winning streak. They hadn't done that in years. Not even with your boy Stafford here. Like they couldn't. Like this is just one of those things that they're going to look back on as a huge missed opportunity. This and the Minnesota game, I think, are the 2 biggest missed opportunities for the Lions this season. Because imagine if they had those 2 wins on the resume right now.
Absolutely.
Not only would they be sitting at 500, they would have beaten the Bills and Minnesota. Now they've beaten neither.
Again, though, this team is so young.
Diggs. You had 4 catches for 20 yards till that fourth quarter over here celebrating. This is what I hate. Look at Tyler Bass. They're going to let a kicker eat some turkey.
I got to be honest with you. I would have came out there and pretty much nearly doubled Diggs on that 22-second possession there to end the game. You know where he wants to go.
I would have done what they did last game. Remember, they dropped everybody, including the defensive linemen. Just drop them. Drop them.
Pressure was a big part of our success today. So I can see us at least bringing some sort of pressure. But you know what they have to do. They know what they have to do. The middle of the field is where they're going. They've got 3 timeouts. And to see I'm frustrated too.
How do you not be frustrated with this game?
Certainly. But, people around the Football League, National Football. What am I trying to say here? I am upset about this. Nobody can complain about the Lions playing on Thanksgiving after this one.
No, this was an entertaining game. You didn't know who was going to win this game. You didn't. We were sitting in here. There were some big stops by the Lions. They had big moments. They had some signature moments. I mean, the second half, they pretty much shut down the Bills' entire offense.
Yeah.
Without that safety, the Bills went scoreless until the very last touchdown. So, I'm not mad about how the Lions played today. I'm just disappointed with how it wound up. You can't lose a game like that. And Dan Campbell's got to know better. We talked about learning moments. This is going to be another one. 3rd and 1. You have the ball already in field goal range. You have 2 timeouts remaining. Get the first down. Take your timeout. Now you got 2 shots at the end zone or another shot over the middle if you want to do it. You open yourself up to so much more. Blowing your load on 1 shot down the field and hoping DJ Chark comes through for the first time all year was not the play. It was not the play. Even if that gets completed, I'm still saying that's not worth the risk. I want more plays. I want that first down.
I don't want 23 seconds left on the clock.
There's that too.
Huge.
And what's crazy is we look back at it, we're so hyped those 11 seconds got put back on the clock. Now you wish they didn't at all.
Yeah.
It's those little nuances, man.
Yeah. That's a good point. That is a good point. Ford Field was pretty loud today. Is anybody at home or was anybody at the game that can speak on that? Hit us up in the chat because I'd love to hear what it was like in that stadium. I bet it was playoff atmosphere.
I mean, you heard Tony Romo mentioning it constantly throughout the game, just constantly about how that crowd is there, how the Detroit Lions are back. I don't know what we were back from, but, he said they're back. Lions have never been there. We
back
can't go
from 1947.
Can't go. Yeah, it was from that one playoff win in 1991. We're back, baby. But either way, it's nice to hear people talk good about Detroit. But yeah, that crowd was rocking today. A lot of Bills fans though too. You got to admit, a lot of Bills fans.
Yeah, that quarterback keeper out of Allen there, they're their last offensive touch before they kick the field goal. Great play call. Great play call from the Bills, that entire set of downs there to end the game. It's something that is coming, and you not only have to prepare for it on your defensive play calling, but you have to take the ball out of their hands, and the only way you do that is by going for it on 3rd and a half yard. We've gotten those short yardage plays on 3rd and 4th down a bunch in the last 2 weeks. How you don't put the game on the back of your top 4 offensive line, Well, they'll be asking themselves that for the next 10 days.
And that's what I was saying. The offensive line didn't show up like they were supposed to today. I mean, Ed Oliver pimp slapped you several times, and it was not pretty. I hate that I even said that in the pregame now, that Ed Oliver's got to show out, and then he does. Like, I feel like I almost just put that in the universe if you believe in that type of stuff. But he did exactly what he was supposed to do. The Bills are good. It's not like we're talking about some trash team that the Lions just lost to. But at the same time, you got to take advantage of these opportunities. You got to make sure that when these things are on the line, you're prepared for them. And at the end of the day, there were 3 crucial moments that I thought for the Lions, one of them being that last 3rd-and-1 play. And I'm going to be hung up on that for a while. Yeah. So I just don't understand. I'll never understand why, for multiple reasons, you don't run the ball. And if you get stopped short, you're still kicking the same field goal, but you're forcing them to burn a timeout if they want to stop the clock. It's just that was just such an untimely brain fart by the Lions coaching staff.
It was an absolute wrong call. Badgley makes that field goal. We're in a different situation, but regardless, as a coach, you have to understand how much time you're leaving on the clock, and you're also putting a kicker that just missed his last field goal up against a 49-yard field goal. That's not an automatic one. Why they wouldn't take that? I just don't get it. I understand the catching him off guard. They were really jamming the line there, but Chark's not the guy. If you're going to take that kind of a big chance, Chark's not the guy.
We don't have that. The Lions don't have that guy right now. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, if you want to go to a safety net, that's the guy you go to. You don't try to.
That's the only person I would have drawn up a pass play for on a clear running down.
And I don't understand why. I'll never understand. Hopefully, in the post game, he gets asked about that call.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, well, we saw something in their defense. If you look at it, Chark was open. Chark was open. Not the greatest throw by Goff. I'll admit that. But Goff was under a lot of pressure, and that's the difference. Like, you knew all game long Goff was under pressure like that. So why put your team in that position?
Yeah, I want to speak on that as some people in the chat are talking about Goff. Goff was under fire all day. He only went down twice. One of them cost us 2 points, sure, but he managed that pressure very, very well. He didn't make the turnovers. I think he's got 1 turnover in the last 4 games, which has really kept us in games and allowed us to go 3-1 in this stretch. But keep in mind, guys, no one gave us any chance to win this game from the time that we saw the schedule released to week 1 to last week was maybe the first time anybody had a glimmer of hope to be able to win this game. I can't imagine any Lions fans as upset as you deserve to be over not winning this one. You've got to be excited about the growth of this team that we've seen over 11 weeks.
And that's what I was just going to say. Let's quit the downtrodden, what went wrong. Let's talk about what went right.
It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for Jared Goff not turning the ball over again. Yep. I'm thankful that DeAndre Swift showed some power, even though his knee was down. That was a power running move we haven't seen from him in a while. Jamal Williams getting another touchdown. There's good things. Like I said, the defense essentially stopped the Bills the entire second half.
Yeah.
This defense is different now. It's completely different now. So that's another good takeaway. There are a lot of good things to take away. It's just, you look, it's like going on the perfect date, all of that. You get the perfect kiss at the end of the night, but then you go home alone. It's like, man, it was almost there. It was almost there, but we just couldn't finish the job.
Yeah. Shout out to James Houston, since we're talking about, some of the plays that were made today.
Yeah, more sacks than Kayvon Thibodeau now.
First time in Lions history, a Lions player in his first game as a professional had 2 sacks. So, the defense has come out of nowhere, like you said. And, last week it was McNeil. This week it was Houston. hopefully another one of these weeks we're going to see Hutchinson go on the board with some multiple sack games.
They were triple double teaming. They were giving Hutchinson everything they had today.
And that's why you saw so many other guys in the backfield. And when we can bookend him with another true pass rusher, this defense can really make great strides next season. You and I talked about it after the game last week. We don't need to add one piece to this offense, especially with Jamison Williams coming back. When you add a little bit more defense to this team, I mean, one more playmaker today is really the difference.
Jeff
in this
Okudah.
game.
Potentially Jeff Okudah. That's a
great point.
That's a huge miss. Like, not saying he's going to shut down Stephon Diggs, but if the Lions did what they did to Diggs without Okudah, probably would have been maybe a couple other receptions that didn't happen if he was up one-on-one on him.
If Okudah's up here today, he's eating turkey, not Diggs.
Did you ever think you would be thinking that about Jeff Okudah? He has come on these last couple games, and just how hard he hits. I mean, unfortunately, there's some friendly fire in there too. But yeah, Jeff Okudah, I think, was a big reason this team couldn't get it done today, especially in those last second, long down plays to get into field goal range.
If we could have had him just one play.
Right.
Just one play today.
That was a hell of a throw by
I guess the question at this point is 8 of our 11 teams that we played are playoff bound right now. We've played, I think, 3 teams that are in first place right now. I don't believe Miami is, but...
no, the Lions have had the 3rd hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be that way.
No, it's supposed to be the 5th easiest.
Yeah, certainly.
Before coming into the season, they have had the 3rd hardest schedule. The only 2 teams with easier schedule or slightly harder schedules than the Lions are the Packers and the Bears, because the Lions have a better record than they do. That's it.
Interesting.
If the Packers beat us, then we're the hardest schedule. It's incestual there with the NFC North team just sucking.
Yeah.
But they've had the toughest schedule. It's just facts.
Yeah, well, that begs the question. How bad is the NFC North if you're lining up against the best teams this season? And I guess I'm wondering. We've seen that Holmes can draft, and it took a little bit of time for some of these guys to get to the field, whether health or other reasons. But what I've also seen is their ability to develop young players. And we kind of were, I think that was the biggest concern this year, is we saw this growth as a team at the end of last season. We were hoping for a little more to start the season. But what we have seen over these last 5-6 weeks maybe is true growth from not only the team but by these young players. So how good are the Lions? How good are the Lions heading into this final stretch of what's a much easier schedule? How good are the Lions heading into next year? How good are the Lions when you add in all of this draft capital and use up our vast, salary that we have available to us? I'm down. It's Thanksgiving. I haven't felt a Thanksgiving win in a long time. But in terms of the Lions and my optimism, I'm up.
Yeah, stock's up on the Lions. I think that's very clear. They made a statement today. It could have been a much bigger statement. We knocked on the door today. I think that's a good. We could have kicked it down.
We had our foot in the door, but they just kind of slammed it on us at the end there.
That's what I'm saying. The Lions walked up, they knocked on the door, let people know, hey, we're outside, we're ready to come in.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're at the kids' table still. That's probably on Thanksgiving. That's probably the best comparison. The Lions are 12 years old, almost 13, almost ready to go to the adult table. But today they just threw a temper tantrum. The parents were just back to the kids' table.
Hated the kids' table. I hated it.
And that's where the Lions have been my entire life. We've been at the kids' table. But today, they had a chance to graduate to the adult table, and they just couldn't get it done. They just couldn't get it done. And not saying they won't by the end of the season, like I said. Not saying this isn't a good learning moment for them. How do they motivate out of this? Is this one of those good losses? Now they're hey, we could play with a team that is projected to win the Super Bowl. We can almost beat them. Now Jacksonville's coming to town. These guys are clowns. Let's step on their throats. Potentially there's that. Or are they going to tuck their tail? I don't see this team tucking their tail.
So we've lost by 3 points to the consensus best team in the AFC and the best team in the NFC. This is true, right? The Eagles and the Bills. It's got to give you as a team and you as fans at home, a lot of confidence in this team. And again, if you don't really understand the future and what kind of capital in terms of drafting and salary cap space that the Lions have for next year, they have an opportunity and the assets to truly impact this team with playmakers. And we also get your boy J-Mo at some point, maybe this year.
Next game. I think if he has a good week of practice, Jameson Williams will be on the field versus Jacksonville. That's what Jim Caldwell said. Or not Jim Caldwell. Wow, I just had a... That's what
wishful thinking there, pal.
That's what Dan Campbell said about a week ago. That was the target date. Wow,
so
Jim Caldwell.
If you put J-Mo in that play instead of Chark, it's going to be exciting to see his dynamic speed and playmaking ability in this offense.
Man, the hate for Goff in the WoodwardSports.com chat is just crazy to me.
It's not crazy to me. This is a city that hates quarterbacks. You can't win no matter who you are.
Yeah, did Goff miss a field goal? I don't think he missed a field goal. Did Goff fumble the ball when they were driving? I don't think Goff fumbled the ball when they were driving. Did Goff pick up a couple big third downs by making some pinpoint throws? I think he did. Did he get him in field goal range at the end of the game to tie it? If Tom Brady did that, we'd be like, hey, just like last year. Tom Brady did his job in the playoffs against the Rams. Just Stafford got the ball and took it back. So, I don't get how no matter what happens with the Lions, if they win, Goff, it wasn't to do with Goff. If they lose, Goff had it. He didn't turn the ball over. He hasn't turned the ball over in 4 games. He's a game manager. He's a 15th ranked quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best in the world, but quit acting like he's dead, like he's horrible, like he's hurting the team. Yeah. He's not. And even that sack he took for the safety, use some perspective on this, right? They got the turnover in the red zone. That was going to be 3 points anyways. So they cut it down to 2, which obviously you want them to take that ball and score it, but they were still in the game. Jared Goff kept your team in the game today all the way up until Josh Allen got the ball with 23 seconds left. And did Jared Goff give up a deep pass to Stephon Diggs? Hell no, he didn't. So, stop with this narrative that this is Goff's fault. I don't understand it. Be thankful for Jared Goff. It's Thanksgiving. Be thankful you have Jared Goff as your quarterback.
I'd be thankful. I'd be thankful for somebody better that could have won this game instead of getting us into into field goal territory. But we didn't give Jared Goff the opportunity. That third down play is just ridiculous. You get a new set of downs. You give him the ball over the middle, let him push forward for a first down, and then you let it play from there. Anybody that's calling for Jared Goff's job right now, I'm not listening to him, man.
They're just caught in Little League football. That's all it is. They don't understand the game.
I'd rather talk about fearless Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah, Jerry Jacobs, welcome back.
I'd rather see James Mitchell get the ball a little bit more and a little more involved.
Anzalone had a pulse today.
Yep.
He wasn't horrible.
He was out of the anal zone today. There was a lot of promising things. Justin Jackson, again, has provided a spark as our third back. Came up with a big play on that near interception to keep us in the game there. There's a lot of pluses all over this game. Love the gray jerseys, but
nice uni.
This is a game that we'll win next year, I believe. This team is on the way. A couple of guys were making fun of us last year because of our optimism. How do you guys feel now? If this was just a couple of mistakes or a quarterback away from being a win against a Super Bowl favorite, how do you feel about this team? You've got to feel positive. You've got to feel encouraged. You've got to be looking forward to what we can do next year. And you've got to still be completely engaged in the understanding that we have still a shot to flirt with the playoffs. We've got a hell of a schedule that we can do damage on.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty easy schedule coming up. But yeah, and then going back to the stats, like I said, Goff, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. To me, the biggest issue this game is the Lions could not rush the ball. That's been pretty much the predicate of their offense, because it also lets Jared Goff throw out of play action, which he was the number 1 quarterback out of play action. And you heard Tony Romo talk about it. 70% completion percentage against the blitz. Pretty good, but, non-football idiots don't get that. But yeah, not running for 100 yards is really tough for the Lions. And I know we used to go nuts when we even got one guy to do it, because it was so long in between them. But Jamal Williams, 18 carries, 66 yards, 3.7 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift, 5 carries, 19 yards, 3.8 yards a carry. The long, like
what did Jackson give us?
Jackson gave us 4 carries for 4 yards.
Yeah,
but that's on the offensive line. Like if we're going to give these guys credit, the offensive line when they dominate, we got to talk about how they did not push around the Buffalo Bills defensive line. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches, 122 and a touch. I mean, what can't that guy do?
I'm pretty sure 6 or 7 of those were either for a touchdown or a first down conversion. That guy is just paramount to this team's offense. And mind you, this team's offense with terrible Jared Goff, there's only 3 teams with 5+ 30-point games this season. You know who they are? Well, they're the Bills. Mm-hmm. They're the Chiefs.
Pretty good offenses.
And the Lions.
Oh, but Jared Goff can't play quarterback. This is why it's just a clown show when that you pick out that guy to be the problem. You got a defense that's ranked 32nd in the league, and you still want to blame your quarterback. Makes no sense to me.
It really came down to just that the sequence of events there in the end of the game, between the missed 2-point conversion with the decision on third down, with the time left on the clock. This is a situation that the Lions coaching staff has not been in. A game of this magnitude, especially, being up, having to understand or in a position to go up and tie it, and the opportunities that they had there in terms of play calling, they dropped the ball today. And you have to have learning moments like this. They have to learn from it and get better. We have to stop seeing this stuff. But what we have seen through 11 games and 12 weeks of this season is less mistakes, more conservative play calling, a wider range of offensive actual play calling, but we have been, as a team and as the coaching staff, more conservative, put ourselves in situations where we're not digging our own holes. But again, they are still learning. They're pretty much as young as this team is in terms of coaching experience.
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, just watching them all come together. But hey, as long as the momentum keeps going and they start looking forward to next week, I don't think they're happy with this week, but I think they can be proud when they put some things on tape. If it wasn't for a couple key mistakes, the fumble, the missed field goal, the 3rd and 1 call, they're winning this game.
Yeah,
and You got to look at tape and be like, we can clean those things up.
Absolutely.
There weren't a ton of really egregious penalties in this game. The false start by Penei Sewell kind of hurt. That was probably the biggest hurtful penalty. The roughing the passer was pretty dumb too.
That one was. I don't know why. That was huge.
I don't know why he threw him to the ground like that.
Yeah, because that's the difference between 4 points right there, and it really puts us in a situation where we have control of this game instead of playing from behind in this game. I'm excited to see how they respond versus Jacksonville next week. Because, like you said, Trevor Lawrence certainly is not Josh Allen. And like you said, there's going to be a lot of pissed off Honolulu Blue on the field next week.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm feeling this team's going to bring next week. Is just all right, we let one slip away. And that's what champions have to do, honestly. If you let one slip away like they did today, you got to respond with your life on the line. And honestly, with your playoff hopes on the line. If these guys are talking about that in the locker room, which I don't know if they are, they should be, but they should have that type of optimism. But if they really want to take themselves serious, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Losing to the Bills is okay. It's acceptable. It's expected, and it would have been a big win. But losing to Jacksonville, now you're talking 2-game losing streak. You're trending backwards. You're losing to teams that aren't as talented as you. It's a home loss to another team. So, the pressure, because you lost this game, the pressure for next game is even bigger now, and I hope they respond.
Well, unfortunately, they'll be at home for the next 2 weeks as well. I think that stadium's going to stay loud. I mean, I think that the loss here, as heartbreaking as it is not going to deter Lion fans from buying tickets, from selling that place out. There's a true excitement around this team that we haven't seen or felt in a very, very long time. And I'm looking at these last 6 games: Jaguars, Vikings at home, Jets, Panthers on the road, Bears at home,
win.
Packers on the road. We could win 6 straight games to finish the season.
It's funny.
These are all winnable games. And who would have said that at the start of the season, or after week 4, or after week 7, you know?
Yeah, when you were 1-6.
Yep. Be encouraged, Lions Nation. Be encouraged. You know, and speaking of Lions Nation, I got to throw a shout out to my guy, Kyle Nash. Much love, devoted follower here. All of the people that we've been going around talking to that follow Woodward Sports are all in on the Lions finally. And in the first half of the season, it just was so much vitriol and anger and fire this guy, fire that guy. I'm all about the renewed hope. You know, that's a great positive going forward.
That's why I was just so hoping they won that game today. Like, Ford Field was absolutely rocking. 66,000 tickets sold. Everybody's galvanized around this team right now. You played so well. Just one little break, like one little twist of fate for the Lions to just snag this win and change the course of history for your franchise. It would have been so nice to see. Didn't happen, though, for the Lions, but obviously they got to look forward to next week. I mean, it's Thanksgiving, so they're going to be home with their families. They're going to be eating. Anson, you're coming over to my place after this. That's how we're going to spend the rest of our Thanksgiving. Got some friends coming over. I'll watch some more football. What an incredible game, though. Like, I was invested. I haven't been standing up pacing my living room in a while watching a Lions game.
I really caught myself. You know, in mid-second quarter, where like every play, I just realized the importance of mistakes and big plays and you know, not going 3 and out and being able to fight for field position. You know, Jack Fox is a major player again. You know, he's very important because we're playing conservative and we're in these games. And I felt like it was the 90s again, really being upset. You know, knowing that we have an opportunity to win and little plays that make the difference. You know, before it was just, hey, who cares? You know, as long as it's kind of close at the end, I'm happy. No longer. That's not the sentiment in Detroit right now. We want wins, and that wasn't the way that this was feeling through the first 7 weeks at all.
Yeah, well. Got some optimism rolling into next week. Jamison Williams potentially on the roster. How does that change their offensive approach next week? I mean, dude, if they announce like tomorrow or even Wednesday that he's going to play, expect for Ford Field to be massively sold out and going insane.
It'll be a fun game to be there for. It'll be a fun game to watch on TV. It'll be fun to watch this offense that's already so good take the next step in their evolution. And it'd also be fantastic to finally get a taste of the return for the foundation of the franchise for 10 years. We, again, have never seen 1 minute played for what we got for Matt Stafford. And that starts as soon as J-Mo hits the field.
Oh, man. Exciting times to be a Lions fan. Honestly, you got to be feeling much better. That 3-game winning streak, it bought a lot of time for Dan Campbell. It bought a lot of Lions fans. I think it brought them back on board. And a loss like this, I'll tolerate losses like this. This wasn't... We've seen Peyton Manning throw 6 touchdowns in the first half on Thanksgiving against the Lions.
We've seen some ugly Thanksgiving.
Some just absolute beatdowns by the best team in the league coming in on Thanksgiving Day and killing the Lions. Today, we didn't see that. You saw a Lions team fighting. You saw them convincing the national announcers that they're here to stay. You saw the crowd being into it. You saw a team almost pull off the impossible, but it just did not happen.
Do you think they're in the middle of this league right now? I mean, the record doesn't reflect that.
I mean, they're sitting like, I think a lot of the power rankings that came out this week had the Lions sitting like 18, 19.
So I love that. And do they move up after this game?
No.
You don't think so?
You can't move up after a loss.
You can.
It depends on who loses in front of them, I guess.
Well, it also depends on who you lose to.
Yeah, not really.
and how you play them.
There's no moral victories. It's an
I'm
L on
not
the
talking
stat
about a
sheet.
moral victory. I'm talking about, X's and O's, looking at this team, how this is going to affect Vegas betting, setting lines next week. I mean, this is a true eye-opener because you can look at these last 3 games and be like, okay, you beat the Packers, they're down. You beat the Bears with a young quarterback. You beat, the kind of fraudulent Giants team that's won a bunch of close games.
Yeah.
But this was the test today. And I'm sure plenty of people thought we were going to get blown out. It wasn't going to be close. And it was damn close. It was damn close. Honestly,
They covered.
We'll see what
Good
the
teams
heavyweights
win.
have to say about their boy Ben Johnson tomorrow with that third down call.
God, that third down call is going to haunt us.
Big time.
It's definitely going to haunt us. But everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll be out tomorrow. The morning show will be here in the studio in Birmingham. Then I will be in Clarkson at the Feldman dealership, the brand new Jeep dealership for Black Friday. Braylon's going to be out there as well doing the show from 2 to 4. D-Mac from 11 to 1. Plus, Braylon's got an appearance in Southfield at the Moneyball location doing an autograph signing from 11 to noon out there. So Woodward Sports going to be all over the place on Black Friday.
Wait, this guy's always trying to get out of here without calling out what's going to happen next week. Are we beating the Jags?
Oh, yeah. The Lions have to smash the face. Like, the Lions
have to,
come,
but are we going to?
No, not just beat the Jags. Beat the Jags.
Beat
I'm
them
talking
down, huh?
like 42 to like 17 beat down. Like, hardcore. This is a statement. These guys aren't on our level beatdown. That's what has to happen next week.
I see 33-20. Is that a big enough beatdown for you?
I'm okay with that.
Cool.
It depends on if part of that 20 is like a last-second touchdown that they get in garbage time. But yeah, beatdown. Just like they did last week to the Giants. Beginning to end domination.
Control.
Yep, I need to see that again out of this team. But happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you guys for being a part of WoodwardSports.com. Hopefully you got to spend some time with your family. You got to enjoy some football. You got to enjoy some food. And now there's more football ready to go. We will see you in like 10 days. We got a Sunday off to just watch football.
Crazy.
It's going to be crazy. And by the way, Christmas shopping starts tomorrow, so here you go. Here's how to get some Woodward Sports merch.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.